Welcome to our Changing Homes webinar. This webinar is an opportunity for us to provide some general information that we believe will be helpful and relevant to most people who have engaged with one or more of our programs. We acknowledge that some of the information may not be relevant or new to you, but we hope that even so, it'll be a timely reminder and reassurance to know that both yourself and the other party will watch this webinar and receive the same information. We also like to acknowledge that some of the content may be upsetting to some people for various reasons. If you have any questions or concerns that arise out of watching this webinar, we invite you to speak with your practitioner. We acknowledge the traditional custodians and elders past and present who have raised children, taught them about the world around them, and gave them the gift of culture and language. We recognise our part in bringing fairness to our Indigenous brothers and sisters and creating a community where all children, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, can grow up strong. This is an overview of what we will cover in this webinar. The topics we will cover include family relationship services, what we know, cycle of loss and grief, looking after your well-being, conflict and family violence, communication, parenting styles, blended families, family law information, developmental ages and stages, parenting arrangements, and future considerations. UMFC's Family Relationship Services includes the Family Relationship Centre, Parenting Orders Program, and the Children's Contact Service. Parties may attend voluntarily or be court-ordered. Parties accessing the Family Relationship Service can engage in all programs depending on their situation. We are a child-focused, family-centred practice, and all of our work is focused on the children, such as how they may be impacted and how they are coping, among other considerations. The Family Relationship Centre is located in Wodonga. They offer mediation for children's matters and property matters. Mediation is often an opportunity for parents or significant persons to come up with their own parenting arrangement that is focused on what is best for their children. They also offer family counselling to assist and support families or individuals to move forward in a positive way and work through issues that may be holding them back. The Family Relationship Centre can also offer child-inclusive practice. This provides an opportunity for children to talk to a qualified child consultant in a way that explores how children are coping with thoughts and feelings after separation. This is not counselling. Child consultants facilitate conversations and dialogues with school-aged children and adolescents in a relaxed and informal activity-based setting. Both parents need to agree for this to happen, and the child consultant must consider it appropriate. The child consultant may then share feedback that the children has consented to with the parents. The Children's Contact Service is a purpose-built facility located in Albury. This allows children to establish or maintain a relationship with a parent or another significant person through supervised contacts or changeovers. In a supervised contact, the child spends time with the parent or significant person on site in our playroom in the presence of a worker. Changeovers allow the child to go from the care of one parent or significant person to the other safely. The centre has a therapeutic screening process that values the voice of children. Parent readiness is assessed and child consults are completed with all families accessing this service. The Parenting Orders Program is also located in Albury in the same building as the Children's Contact Service. This program offers therapeutic interventions tailored to the needs of families who have experienced separation. The goal of the program is to assist parents to improve the co-parenting relationship, address their differences, and focus on the best interests of their children. This is done through post-separation counselling, which can be individual, joint, or family group, and a 5-week adult group work program which covers a range of topics including conflict resolution, communication, and child development. Ideally, both parents attend the group work. though would not be in the same group. The Parenting Orders program also have a children's program called Jigsaw. This is for children aged 6 to 11. It is a fun, activity-based program which helps normalize separation for children and covers topics such as adjusting to change, problem solving, recognizing and managing emotions. The program runs each school term for 5 weeks. What the research has shown is that a minority of separated children have long-term problems due to family separation. Sometimes separation reduces the conflict that children are experiencing. Children can survive and thrive post-separation. The strongest predictor of poor child adjustment after separation is ongoing parental conflict. Children are particularly affected if the conflict is about them. Frequent changes to children's living arrangements and who cares for them are also associated with poor adjustment. Living arrangements need to ensure that children are safe and that they are able to be changed over time with the developing child's needs. We often refer to the cycle of loss and grief when talking about separation. While not relevant to all parents, in the diagram you can see that person A, the person who ended the relationship, has the most distress before the separation, and person B has the most distress after separation. There can often be a roller coaster of emotions experienced by both parents at different stages, both before and after the separation. It is normal to feel a range of emotions during times of significant change. When parents come to mediation or counselling, one parent may have moved on while the other parent may still be grieving the loss of the relationship. Counsellors and mediators can offer support. It's important to think about where you may be currently in the grief and loss cycle, as well as where the other parent may be. Looking after your health and well-being after separation is not only important for you, but also for your children that are depending on you. It is important to role model healthy coping techniques for your children. These may include exercise, healthy eating, mindfulness, socializing with family and friends, and professional support. We refer to conflict a lot during this webinar. So what is conflict? Conflict is an active disagreement between people with opposing opinions or principles. Conflict can sometimes allow for robust conversations that lead to solutions, although other times it can be problematic and ongoing. It is not the same as violence. Family violence involves an abuse of power to frighten, undermine, demoralize, or control another person. It's very important to acknowledge the difference between conflict and family violence. The Duoloth wheel of power and control provides some examples of behavior that is considered family violence. At the point of separation, some families report an increase of family violence. For others, this has been ongoing throughout their childhood or family relationships. If anyone wishes to explore this issue more, please contact your practitioner. The National Legal Aid's Family Violence Law Help website may be of assistance. It can be translated into different languages if needed. The online resource provides information about domestic and family violence, domestic violence orders, family law, child protection, and the different support services that are available. There are also local services that are available to support people who have either used or experienced violence. The Family Law Act considers it child abuse when children witness any aspect of violence against another person, particularly the other parent, when there is constant arguing, yelling, and threats made with the children present. Family violence impacts a child's well-being, sense of self, and threatens their feelings of safety and security. All of our practitioners screen for family violence, mental health, child abuse, and drug and alcohol misuse. We will use this information to make decisions about the most appropriate way to deliver our service or link you in with other services through referrals. The following 3 slides are from child psychologist Jennifer McIntosh. She has worked with many separated families, researching the damaging impact that ongoing conflict has on children. So what does high conflict look like between separated families? This is when parents remain very angry, distrust each other, become verbally abusive, avoid each other unnecessarily, argue or interfere, go to court a lot, threaten, intimidate, or try to control their former partner, are aggressive or violent, have trouble communicating about the children, or criticize each other's parenting. Ongoing conflict and tension between parents has consistently been shown to have negative impact on children's development and adjustment. Young children and infants find such conflict and tension to be especially distressing because it is occurring between the people they rely on for just about everything. Due to ongoing conflict, children can experience some of what you see on the slide. This includes losing trust in their parents, having poor attachment with their parents, losing confidence in themselves, becoming overwhelmed by their feelings, show their distress in bad behavior, performing poorly at school, and having trouble with friendships and maintaining long-term healthy relationships. You might be questioning how you can protect your children. Jennifer McIntosh suggests the following. Keep your conflict away from your child or children. Listen carefully to how they feel about things. Let them know you are trying to sort out differences. Explain that it's not their fault. Be positive about the other parent. Don't let your children play the messenger. Never allow your child to take sides. And try to stay out of court. Negotiate wherever possible. One of the most tangible things your children can see and feel is your communication. If you focus on the negative things that your children say about the time with the other parent, they will eventually only tell you about the negative things. Communication is an important part of co-parenting. It is a two-way process, so listening to the other parent's perspective is just as important as you putting forward your perspective. Have a think about how you communicate with the other parent. What may your child be hearing or seeing? What needs to change? And remember, we communicate not with just our words, but also with our tone of voice and body language. The key message from this one is how you communicate gives your children a sense of how much you are able to cooperate and coordinate their care. This slide outlines some communication strategies that you may find helpful. Communicating in writing can help as you both will have a permanent record of what was discussed and agreed to, but be mindful of the words you use. There are parenting apps that you can access as well, which parents tell us are helpful and work well. Clarify rather than focusing on blame, fault, or past issues. Prioritize solutions when communicating with one another rather than name-calling, shouting, or interrupting. Call a time out if the conversation is not productive and agree to continue the conversation another time. There are three main styles of parenting after separation. The first is cooperative parenting. About 1/3 of parents look after their children cooperatively after separation. They talk to each other, plan, and make decisions together about their children. They work out a living arrangement that works for everyone. The second is conflicted parenting, which sees about 1/3 of parents end up in a long-term conflict with one another. They can't find a way of parenting together, so they choose to stay locked in this sad and bitter conflict. For many, the conflict is very high, very long, and very damaging for them and their children. The third is parallel parenting, which sees about 1/3 of parents who find it hard to cooperate but agree to parent their children responsibly in their own ways. These parents don't talk to each other much, but they do have ways of planning and making decisions so the children aren't too stressed. The Family Relationship Service will assist conflicted parents, where safe to do so, to incorporate this parenting style. Children experience loss and grief too. This can occur when separation happens, as it's outside of their control. Keeping their support networks around them is important for their well-being and can include family and relatives from either side of the family, their friends, and other important people such as sporting coaches. Even though your relationship as a couple dissolves, The one aspect that cannot be dissolved is the parenting relationship you have with one another and your children. Separation and divorce ends the marriage or union, but not the family. Divorce or separation restructures families. Blended families can take many forms, and relationships can take time to build. Give your child time to adjust to changes and gradually make these. Listen to your child's feelings and concerns. Introduce new partners respectfully. Remember, your partner is your choice and not necessarily theirs. Be fair and consultative in family rules and decisions. Be the responsible parent. It is not your new partner's responsibility to take on the main role. Focus on your relationship with your child and have alone time with them. Remember, no one can replace you in your child's heart and mind. Importantly, your children can benefit from the strengths and experiences of the various members of their repartnered family. We refer a lot to the best interests of the child. The primary considerations that the family court take into account when deciding what is in the best interests of the child are the benefit to the child of having meaningful relationships with both parents, the need to protect the child from physical or psychological harm, abuse, neglect, or family violence. If these two conflict, the need to protect the child from harm is given greater weight by the court. The video you are about to see by one of our local lawyers covers some of the family law myths out there in the community. Children have different needs at different stages, and arrangements will need to be revisited as children grow. These next slides speak to you about these differing needs. From birth to 3 years, I need you to tune into my needs. Make me feel secure. I depend on you. Breastfeed me, bottle feed me, change my wet nappy, bathe me, let me sleep. Hold me when I cry and reassure me that I am safe. Understand that I can't always self-soothe. Play with me, give me predictable routines. Don't overwhelm me with too much change or expose me to parental conflict. Nurture me, cuddle me, love me. Help me to form strong attachment. My development depends on you. From 4 to 8 years of age, I can show my grief through my behaviour. Ask me how I feel. Reassure me that I am not to blame for the separation. Support me or make others aware that I need help at this time. Sometimes I wish you would get back together. I might play you off against each other. I might not tell you the truth because it's easier to tell you what you want to hear. Going between houses can be hard. Sometimes I just don't want to go. I need boundaries and rules, and I need you to be predictable parents. Please don't fight in front of me. From 9 to 12 years of age, I am maturing. My friends, sport, and activities are important to me. I can tell you how I feel. I sometimes feel angry about the separation and the changes imposed on me. Don't put me in the middle of separation conflict. I might just choose to align with one parent if the fighting doesn't stop. I am going through emotional and physical changes, and I need a safe and secure place to evolve. Consider my needs. From 13 to 18 years of age, I need flexibility to plan my life. I like my possessions. I might not want to transition between homes. My friends are important to me. I have a good sense of right and wrong. Don't make me play messenger if you can't communicate. I need parents who are adults. My mental health is important, and separation stress can affect me. Keep talking to me, even if I don't always answer. When developing arrangements, balance time and responsibility in a way that suits your child's temperament, their level of resilience, developmental age, and stage. Also consider what best suits each parent's work responsibilities, personal capacity, and strengths. There are many different topics that parents may wish to discuss and include in their parenting arrangements, such as how the child's time with each parent and significant other looks, how parents will communicate and share information, and what will happen on special occasions, such as Christmas and birthdays. Being prepared for the mediation and focused on what is in the best interests of your children is paramount to coming up with an effective parenting plan. This video was published by the Australian Institute of Family Studies and includes quotes from children and young people regarding their experience of the family law system. These children participated in the AIFS study, Children and Young People in Separated Families, Family Law System Experiences and Needs, which was released in June 2018. Some important messages that we hope you take away from this webinar are: always think about what's best for your child, be a respectful co-parent, be supportive, communicate with the other parent, avoid conflict, and focus on your child. This slide is a lovely piece of information for when we look at where to from here. It only takes one person to make change possible. Be that person for your child. Thank you for watching this webinar. We hope that your engagement with our service helps you to move forward in a positive way for your family.